All right, welcome everyone. This is Rajendran here. I think uh, what we're going to do is like we're going to explore Claude Code, right? So Claude Code, of late I've been trying Claude Code. Yesterday I had to try in my Mac OS. I have to try, but in Windows I haven't tried yet. So Windows installation procedure is going to be completely different. So what we are going to learn here is like we're going to explore the depth of the Claude Code. So I'm also a beginner. I'm also a beginner with Claude Code. So I'm going to learn along with you guys. And anyways, the session is already getting recorded, and recorded video will be posted to the YouTube as well. So the Claude Code, if I go to the Claude Code page, they said like this is a single liner installer. This works fine with Mac OS, but when I tried with uh, in the command prompt, I'm going to go to the command prompt over here. So here is my command prompt, and I'm going to copy and paste the command. Of course, this command requires npm, and you also need Node.js. In my case, I already installed Node.js. So node-b, if you could see that Node, I'm using version 22. They are recommending Node 18 plus. And we are using npm packet manager. So npm package manager. So npm also I had installed. So now if I try to install this globally, so Claude Code, we have to install this globally. -G represents global. Obviously, I'm going to get an error because Claude Code requires, unfortunately, Linux. So they are recommending to use WSL. So WSL is what it is recommended. So if I go and type WSL -- list, I'm using WSL. WSL is nothing but Windows Subsystem for Linux distribution. Windows inbuilt, they support a WSL for quite some time. Now we have to install some sort of Ubuntu package is what I'm going to install. Right now I'm running Docker. That should be more than enough. But anyways, I'm going to install Ubuntu. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to Microsoft Store. So here is Microsoft Store. And then from here, I'm going to go and type Ubuntu. So you'll be seeing this Ubuntu app. I'm going to install this. Get. So 24 LTS. 25 is the latest version. But I'm going to use 24 over here. And maybe it could be taking a little bit of time because it's a heavy package. What it is suggested from the application is like you have to use WSL, right? And then you have to log into inside your WSL, you have to log in. And inside the WSL, you have to execute it. Maybe if I type WSL automatically, I'll be able to log into my Docker. I may able to run from here also. So it logs into my Ubuntu. Right? I can try from here as well. I can try running the same command from here. But this is going to take time. So I'll pass this. I'll try with this existing Docker method itself. But in your case, if you are going to try it out, you may have to install an Ubuntu version. Or if you are running already Docker, you can give a try. I don't know whether it's going to run in Docker or not. I'm not very sure. But it should be running. Let's see. I'm going to execute the same command in my WSL. I'm into my WSL. I'm into my Docker subsystem. Let me run this code. So if I run this code, it says like npm is not found. Means this is inside Linux. I think the node and npm is not there. So I have to go and install node. Let me get that. I'll go to node download. Been pretty slow. Well, let's try how to download node in Linux. Let me try this. Let me give a try. I don't know whether that should work or not. No, it doesn't support any curl, not found, nothing is there. So I think probably this is like Docker desktop, but maybe the procedure might be a little different, or we don't have any other choice. You may have to install Linux distro. Let's check what is the Linux distro. I think this is a specific distro from Docker itself, right? So I think in that case, we don't have any choice but just to go and install the Linux itself better. Then it's going to be a pretty long, boring one. It is going to be. So I'm going to again go to the Microsoft Store. I'll go and pull up the Ubuntu, and then I'll execute this. I mean, I'll try to download this. 348 MB, pretty slow in downloading. I don't know why. But yesterday's my experience with Mac is pretty interesting. Like um, one thing which I seen comparatively with Windsurf and Cursor is Windsurf and Cursor, we have to keep on giving prompts, multiple prompts that you have to give to build stuff. But Claude Code, what I had seen is like it is capable of one single prompt. The way it is planning things and building the plan. So it is it's deriving a plan, and from the plan, it is executing line by line. It is also checking, validating, writing test, and it's going behind everything. It's working for longer hours. Windsurf Max, what up to the token limit, it will try to work, but uh, the Claude Code, I don't see any end to that. There are at some point in time I was seeing like it was keep on going for coding like 30 minutes in a row. So it keeps on coding. And the tokens are also efficiently used in Claude Code as well. Like in Windsurf, I think they are sending a lot of tokens. They are feeding into that. But Claude Code, token wise, it is pretty efficient. That's what I feel. It's not consuming too much of tokens. I mean, literally, it shows how many tokens that you can have. And the best part is you can also use Claude Code, not just only in your command line. You can also use it in your VS Code. You can also use it in your Windsurf or even Cursor. So that way you don't feel like you are using a command line coding tool. Of course, it's command line only, but you don't feel, once you start using it, you don't get that feel. Okay, so we have this Ubuntu. Let's open that. And this is what it is installing. This says like this is going to take a few minutes. Once the installation is done, next thing is like we have to go and install. It's asking for a name. I'll say like open algo. And password, I'm going to type enter and enter. No password has been supplied. It's asking me to give a password. Okay, I'll give a password. Never mind. But its installation is successful. We are inside open algo. Now we have to install npm, right? Npm and node we have to install. I think by default it doesn't has any node or something. It doesn't has anything. Let's go and install node. That will be installing Node.js. Whereas if you're going to use in Linux or Mac, your installation is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is like you just have Node, straight away start using Claude, connect with that and start using it. But Windows is not straightforward, unfortunately. So that is one thing. And I think by now we should be able to get the node and npm. Yes. For some reason, this is I think I had installed 18. Oh my God. Did I install 18? Ah, come on. Let me try installing the latest version. So, first. I know there is a way to upgrade or not. I'm not sure, but let me try it out. Let me give it a try. I prefer to go with the latest one. Hopefully this should be upgrading. Yes, so 24 is the node version, 11 is the npm version. Now let's go to Claude Code and then we'll execute this. This will be installing Claude Code. We're still getting error. The operation was rejected by your operating system. It is likely that you don't have a permission. Okay, maybe I'll go with sudo. Just a permission issue. Same error was there in my Mac as well. But once I given sudo, it is able to take it up. So I think from here on, we should not face any errors. I think the installation is done. So now it's pretty simple. You have to invoke using Claude. And the first time it's going to welcome you with Claude. And then you can choose the dark mode or light mode. So I'm going to choose with the dark mode itself. It is asking me whether you're going to use API or Claude app, which requires a Mac subscription. I'm already having a Mac subscription taken from 2 days back. So the Claude Mac subscription is like $100 plan. If you go to ensure that you're in the Max plan, right? They also under Max plan, they have two different plans is what they're having. One is like $100 plan, another one is like $200 plan. But I believe for my requirement, $100 plan is more than enough. And maybe if you want more firepower, I mean, or you want more gunpowder, you have to go for like 20x. I mean, that will be like something like, let's say like adjust usage. What does that usage means? Like 20x more usage. If you want, you have to go and pay like $200. But right now I'm happy with the $100 plan. Anyways, let's go back. And I'm going to select Claude app, and that is going to launch the browser. It's trying to open up the browser to sign in. If the browser doesn't works, I think because since it is in the Linux box, I think it's not working. So I have to click on this link that should be authorizing me in Windows. Yeah, so that is it's asking me to paste this token. We copy and paste this token here. Yes, login is successful. And press enter to continue. And giving some security notes. So I'm going to press enter. And then it's asking like, do you trust the files in the folder? Uh, Probably I have to select the right folder /home/openalgo. And I'm going to say yes. Or probably first I'm going to exit it. What I'm going to do is I'll go to a separate folder. I'm going to create a folder under /var/python. I'm going to create. So I'll go to cd space /var. Here I'm gonna create an folder name Python. So cd mkdir Python. It says permission denied. Why is it so? Maybe I'm pretty new to WSL. Yeah. So cd space Python. So inside Python, I'm gonna create a simple project. So let's say like I want to create a simple Flask application we're gonna create. So this is just we're gonna explore what I want to build, right? So I'm gonna create a simple Flask application. Let's call it like open web. So that's what I'm gonna call it. So mkdir open web. So I don't know what to build, so I'm just building something randomly. Okay, so I'm getting into that open web. And now what we are going to do is like I'm going to open the Claude here inside the folder. So you have to get into a project first of all, and then you have to create open up the command prompt. So it's asking, do you want to, Claude will read the files in this folder. I'm going to say like yes. So now we are into the project. Now we have to give the command line and then we have to get the work done. So I'm going to say like, to build the application itself, I'm going to use something like Perplexity. So Perplexity. What we're going to do is like, we're going to take some things from Perplexity. Let's say I want to build I want to build some cool projects in So I want to build some cool projects in oh, Python Flask with cool dashboard. What should I build? Try me something complex. I don't know what to build, so I'm asking something to build, something pretty complex task. It's giving me like financial or stock market dashboard. I'm not going to do that. I'm literally getting bored out of it. Maybe this one like looking good. Event scheduler and calendar reminder system. Develop an event scheduling app where users can create events, invite others, and reminders, and view event on a calendar. Use Flask with a SQL database and SQL Alchemy ORM. Implement user authentication, role-based access, integrate calendar libraries. For rich event visualization, add notification feature via email or in-app alerts. Okay, I'm gonna say like, tell me, add more cool, add a cool UI and develop a plan. So still we haven't done anything with Claude yet. Just it is waiting for our prompt. So here is the product event scheduling app with Flask. I have no idea what that is, but I'm just thinking that it's going to create an user access and role-based authentication. RBAC means a user can register admin, super admin kind of stuff. So they have like admin, member, guest, so role enforcement on routes and UI elements. And we have this event management where people can go and create events. Events in the sense like let's say like tomorrow open algo that we are conducting so and so session. So people will be able to publish it. It's like kind of a common dashboard. Other people can come and accept and decline invitation. This is pretty cool. Like sometime back, I think a lot of event management portals are there. Uh, they do this. Um, I mean, suddenly I'm not able to remember. Lot of event management websites are there. I think maybe I'm not able to recollect. A lot of very good event management websites are there, but somehow it's not listing over here. Doesn't matter. We'll go and build one. Okay. So all I have to do is like I have to give this. I'm going to feed this information. That's what I'm going to do here. So it is selecting some Flask soft UI dashboard or admin LTE for a professional look, right? Okay, I have no idea what exactly it is. I'm just simply gonna. It's also doing like unit testing, integration, Dockerize app, deploy, and cloud or VPS. Um, Probably let's take this completely. I'm gonna take it up. So a lot of things it is doing. So basically, it is trying to do like what it's having like a core features. What are the core features? It has to have the event management platform, calendar visualization, reminder and notifications, cool UI, and the technology stack, what stack it has to use, right? I'll revise the stack. Flask, we are going to use SQLite, and Postgres, we're not going to use right now. For development, we're going to use SQLite, and ORM is SQL Alchemy, authentication, Flask login, Flask security, a custom with role support, and probably RBAC control. Front end, I prefer not to use Bootstrap. So I'm going to say like, can you change it to Daisy UI? I'm pretty much comfortable with Daisy UI and Tailwind. I'm not a Bootstrap guy. Anyways, so we can copy this and then we can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fine tune this, right? So I'm going to say like, I don't know how much time it's going to do to complete it, but I think this should be, I'm going to go to Claude and then I'm going to say like, you go to Claude itself, you'll say like, in the plan, change DB only to SQLite for time being, SQLite, and then UI use Daisy UI, and also we're going to use Daisy UI we're going to use, and also we're going to use Tailwind as well. What else we're going to use? Maybe no deployment to the cloud, deployment to the cloud. Right? That's the thing. I want a revised plan is what I'm just looking at for. It's giving me a complete revised plan. So a lot of features it is having, and better I don't say the technology stack, right? Better I'll just say like, because let it choose whatever it comes to its mind. In fact, it is also having like Flask, mail with Gmail, SMTP. I'm gonna say like I don't want anything to do with Gmail because I'm not gonna get any API keys live. So I'm gonna say like, can we do? I'll just pass this. Can we do simple project similar to this that doesn't involve any uh, email notifications? I don't want to trigger any email notification at this point in time, that too in live. Simplifying the project. I think this looks fine to me. It's also giving the project structure as well. It's giving the complete structure. Now all I'm going to do is like I'm just going to simply copy and then give it to Claude. Claude Code is what I'm going to give. This is a complete project plan it is developing, and then it comes with user authentication, event management, and calendar view, dashboard, and it also designs some database modeling as well, event RSVP, project structures, and navigation bar, forms, event cards, models, themes. It's also going to have some themes as well. I think we are ready. Let's just copy and then I'm going to paste it inside. That's the only thing that I'm going to do, paste it. And then it's almost having like 304 lines. So you can see that now it is creating it's going to devise a plan. I don't know. So notice the time exactly. Just June 1. A new time has been. New day has been started. Just 1 minute past the day. So it's devising a plan. You can see that it's devising a plan, create project structure and set up Flask app, set up database model. It is asking me, should I have to create an MKDR comments? I'm going to say like yes to everything. So I'm just giving permission to create a folder, whatever the folder that you want, it can create. It says like permission denied. It's saying permission denied because unfortunately it doesn't has the sudo permission. Come on, that's a difficult thing. But it's trying to figure out, let's see, it's checking the permission and current directory permission. Checking current directory and permission. Let's say yes. Maybe it doesn't have a sudo access. For security, Claude Code only change directories to child directories. It says like permission is denied. Uh-oh. Never mind, if that is not going to work out, then I can still get my Mac I can show it from there. This is like, do you want to proceed? Is there a way I can provide a permission? That's what I need to check. I'll do one thing. I'll exit out of Claude, and then I want to get a root permission for this, right? So I'll say like, go to chat, getting permission error in my WSL to create directories. How to fix it? I'm pretty new to WSL. Like I don't use WSL a lot. Sometime back, I was installing some Redis. That's the max I had done with WSL. So who am I? Who am I? It's OpenAlgo. It's not root, right? And sudo I. Probably, I think now we can also change the directory ownership as well. It's owned by. Sorry, let me try to give this. You are now root, so you have full permissions. Okay, let's try now. Let's go to Claude again. Yeah, I'm inside the root now. So I'm gonna go to /var/. I'll ensure that we have npm. Node and npm is there. Yeah, node is there. Obviously, npm is also there. npm is also there. So I'll go to cd space /var/python/openalgo web. So here I'm gonna run the Claude. Claude is what I'm gonna run here. Yeah, Claude is running. I'm gonna select dark mode. Okay, again I have to do the authentication. It's trying to open the browser. Unfortunately, it cannot. So I have to give an authentication permission one more time. I'll authorize and I'll copy the code. I'll get back, paste it, enter. It's in, and press enter to continue, enter to continue. And it says like yes to proceed. I think now it has root permission. So I think probably this should be working fine. Let's try the same thing. So creating the same thing. It should be asking permission for the folders. So since it is a root, it should be able to pass through. So I'm going to say like mkdir commands, you can create it. I think it's creating those directories. Yeah, it is able to pass through. So the best thing about Claude Code is like it will be able to execute in a planned fashion. It is asking me, should I have to create this file? I'm gonna give full permission to Claude. Like I'm gonna completely trust what Claude is gonna do. So trust is one thing that you need when you're gonna do with Claude Code, and then rest you have to just simply sit and pray. That's it. But the thing is like it comes up with a beautiful modularized code. You see the tokens are not taking much. So 806 tokens or 30 tokens. You can also have commands as well. Like later on, I'll show you the commands. A lot of commands you may have to understand when you're using Claude Code. So it keeps on going on and on and on. Like once you just give the plan, it just finish it off and then it gives you back the complete setup. It's writing the codes. As you can see that it's not consuming too much of tokens. But if I would have used Windsurf or Cursor, the amount of tokens for a single prompt, like it would have been massively, it will be utilizing the prompt. So it had done this first one. So it's checked. Second is checked. So it has like few more things to do. Finally, test all the features and ensures that the application is working. If the application is not working, again, it goes and fix it, and then it gives you the working solution. Now, this is for creating a new project. If you're having an existing project also, you can do the same thing. Maybe that we'll try to explore some other day, because yesterday I was fixing one of the CSRF for OpenAlgo. I had to fix it, so I had to just say like just fix CSRF. That's the only thing that I have to say. I logged into OpenAlgo, and then I'll say like, can you implement CSRF for that? I want to give so and so some simple. I think yesterday I also posted in our Discord community as well. Let me pull up the Discord community. Yesterday I had to post this site developers. So as you can see that this is what I have to give the prompt. What I have to give is, what is the prompt? I think it's a pretty simple for prompt. Like, can you help me add CSRF to all the forms? Do a audit, properly check, ensure that. It's a very pretty basic prompt, but it's able to plan well. It's able to it converted my prompt into to dos, right? It's invoking a lot of tool calls. So tool calls are nothing but a lot of various. It's fine tuning the inputs into plan. What to do? It's having a clean plan over here. So it's analyzing current code base to understand authentication and form structure and identify all templates, review current Flask. So I said like use WTF and CSRF. Flask WTF is primarily used for CSRF implementation. I have to mention that library specifically. And then yeah, I'm also saying like you have to implement on all the forms. So do the audit on all the forms, try to understand which are the forms it has to perform. And so it also say checking for like whether the CSRF has been implemented on all the forms. It is writing a Python code, testing it, and then ensuring that everything is working fine. And then it is going on adding in other forms as well. So only one page it missed, trading view page it missed. The rest all the forms it is able to done. It is able to implement it. Then I also asked for auditing. For auditing, I used Google Gemini for auditing. So finally, I figured out that there's only one error. I have to fix it. But otherwise, it would have implemented at least. This would have been went on like for 17 minutes or so. It would have been went on, keep on going on implementing. And after 17 minutes, it had done with that. Let's see. We'll go back. See that still it is working. Like almost 9 minutes. It's keep on going on in a single single shot. It's been keep on going on. Now, what is the impact is like if you want to build an MVP, it's pretty easy to build now. Earlier, you have to pay like $5,000, $6,000, and the coder will be day night. He'll be spending, he'll be burning midnight oil, and then he'll be building it. At least $5,000 to $8,000 is what if you may have to spend if you want to build an MVP. Now with Claude Code, like $100, you can build hundreds of MVPs. You can build. Not only MVPs, you can also improvise the design also. You can make it 100x. Anything that you want to implement, all you have to do is you just give the prompt, nothing else. A vague prompt, it'll be able to capture it, and it can articulate in a beautiful manner. So you have to just have a lot of patience to sit and watch what Claude Code is doing, nothing else. Like you don't need Windsurf, you don't need cursor, nothing. Because if it is Windsurf, right, probably if I would have done you can see that I'm going to do the same thing partly in Windsurf as well. Let me close this, save this. I'll open up an new folder. I'll go inside Python. You can see me like it's not even going to succeed. You can see the difference to yourself. The same prompt I'm going to give, right? I'm going to call it like open web. It's kind of a testing one, like test. Select the folder. So here I'm having a Windsurf with Claude 3.7 model is what I'm going to use. The same prompt is what I'm going to copy. Exact same prompt. And then I'm going to paste it. Then I'm going to send it. So if you think like the amount of token it's going to spend, like huge amount of token it's going to spend. It is because it is thinking, it is adding more its own ingredients. It is adding, and then so it's going to create directories. It's going to struggle creating directories first of all, because many a times it's going to struggle creating directories. Yeah, given a command, I have to press accept, but I don't think it's not going to create. So that itself, like, it's a big negative. It's going to change its one, and if it's going to create one by one uh, directory. So it created the first directory, and then it's going to create the next directory, and then next. Maybe I can give an auto run. It says like auto run is denied by default. I don't want to give auto run. Particularly, I don't want to trust Windsurf first of all. So you have to give one by one. It creates those directories. Inside directory, it created models. Like, it's painful to give one by one. But whereas there, you just have a root access, and all you do is like just it still keep going on. Like you can see that this is like Claude. Let's still keep going on. Like it's been keep creating folders one by one. Maybe in Linux and Mac, the command prompt works really good. So it can able to one shot. It's able to create all these folders. But in Windows, it's not able to create somehow all these folders one by one. Maybe that could be a limitation of Windows. I don't know. Maybe you might love using Claude Code if you are using in Linux or Mac. It's highly recommended. So Windows, it's okay. Like I just want to try out in Windows because mostly I'll be using Windows. This particular machine I'll be mostly using it. But if there is no choice, I'm okay in using Mac itself. But this is like too boring. Like you see that still, I think most of the folders has been created. It's still going to create the JavaScript folder, and the static CSS and JavaScript it is creating. And now it is going to create the requirement.x. Yeah, now it's going to start. Now we can see the competition between these two models. It had done, I think it had done. Is it asking me any question? It says like I created a complete event scheduler. It took like 15 minutes. It took one shot straight 15 minutes. It is able to create the complete context. So now we have to go and run this, right? Let's try to run it. So I'm gonna exit Claude. I'll get to my command line. So from here, I'll get into the Python virtual environment. Python 3. This is Linux, right? So Python 3. It says command is failing. Why is it so? Okay, I have to install. Let me install this. Maybe I'll add sudo. It's a pretty empty machine. Doesn't have Python. Not even Python is installed. Okay. So now let's try with this. It's creating a virtual environment. Let me activate the virtual environment. vnv/bin/activate. So I'm into the virtual environment now. What else? I will install the requirements and then start the application. I have to get into event scheduler, and then pip install requirements. Done with that. Now Python app.py. Okay, let's see. This works. Yeah, it works. Login, email, your password. It the install email validator. It's not. Maybe I think we haven't it haven't done with the email validator properly. Maybe I think we may have to install pip install email underscore validator. I think it forgot to install, I believe. Let's see. Register. That registration is successful. And then login. So login is done. So you can browse events, you can create event. Let me create an event here. Say like open algo meetup. June 2025 meetup. I'll put the date as today and start date. Of course, unfortunately, I am not aware about the IPL is going on. Yeah. And end time is like 20:00. Location is like probably online. Maximum attendees like, let's say like 20, right? I'll save the event. So pretty cool. Like it's been able to deliver. The only problem, what small mistake it had made, like it forgot to install the email validator. But let's see what. So it took 15 minutes to do that. It also able to test the application as well, ensure that it's a flawless one. So we have the calendar, and then we have the dashboard, and we can create an event. So it works flawlessly, right? Maybe if I go to event now my event has been published. Like anybody can go and publish the event, and rest of the people can go and join it. So that's literally done, right? So maybe we can also extend it with if you have that Gmail capabilities or Gmail login. All those things can be done. So people can go and join, and so descriptions and everything is there. Like it's pretty cool. Like event scheduler is pretty cool. But let's see what our Windsurf is going to do here. Right, so it's been done something, and I have to click on continue response, which is fine. So that is with Claude Code. I'll break it. So it's very easy to get into that project. It's very simple to make it. If you are already having an existing project, go into that project. All you have to do is like once you enter into your project, now I can still go and do more additions. Let's say like I'm going to say like I'll go to CD space Claude. I'm going to invoke one more time Claude over here. So I'm going to say like read the project and make the application 100x better. 100x better. That's the only thing I'm gonna give. So it's now it understands. So you see that it's creating an something called Claude.md. So now it's going to devise a plan what it's going to do. So this is it's coming up with a plan. You can see that instantly it's coming up with a plan. So analyze current project structure and code base, review and enhance database models and relationship, implement advanced authentication and security features, add real-time features and notifications, enhance UI and with modern design and interactivity, add API endpoints for mobile external integration, implement advanced event features. The best part is it works. That's the best part. That's the scariest part also. So anyways, I'm not going to make it go doing that, right? So I'm just going to exit, right? So what I want to show is like, I want to show some commands. Oh, come on, I'm not able to stop that. Question or shortcuts. Flash exit. That's what I'm trying to give, but somehow it's not exiting. So it's doing something called mega streaming. You can see that it's now devising its plan. So I want to say like no, I want to do something different. So what I want to do is like I want to show you some commands. Like what is the cost happened so far? You'll be able to see like say like with Claude Max subscription, you don't need to monitor cost. Literally, you don't need to monitor cost. The maximum 100 rupees is $100 is what your maximum plan is. So your subscription include Claude Code usage. So you can use unlimitedly. Yesterday I was running 5 hours in a stretch. I was testing it. It was not breaking at all. So I'm not hitting any rate limit, at least not yet. Maybe Claude is not imposing any rate limit at all. And we also have this clear that will clear the conversation. And they also have something like called doctor, which will tell you what is the health of your Claude installation. So npm permission is okay, your installation is healthy and ready to do automated update. Now, one thing what I need to do is like I need to check if I can get it into my terminal. So I'm going to use VS Code terminal because Claude is, Windsurf is a little busy in doing that. What I'm going to do is I'll go to here. Oops, I'll close this. I'll come back to, I'm going to open a new folder. Let's say I'm having a test folder here, which is fine. So here I'm going to go to WSL hyphen list. So we have this Ubuntu. I'm going to get into the Ubuntu. I don't know the exact command to launch Ubuntu. So I'm going to use Ubuntu for here. So I'm going to say like launch Ubuntu from WSL. Yeah, so that's the one. We are into Ubuntu now. So here I'm gonna go to sudo. So su I'm gonna type. I'm gonna log in as a root user. I'll say like I enter my password. So automatically I'll become the root. It says authentication failure. Okay. So if I, that's what I had given. When I check who am I, says like open algo. Yes. Sudo hyphen I. Oh, maybe su hyphen I is what I had given. Sorry. Yeah. So I have to switch to root. I think now I can launch cd space /var slash. Let's say I'm going to launch some, instead of this, I'll close this and then I'll open algo, right? We'll do something cool with open algo. I think probably I better need to install open algo. I'll simply say like open algo hyphen Claude Code. Okay. Select the folder, go to terminal, git clone https://github.com/market call/open algo. That's going to launch open algo here. And then of course, I'll go to open algo. Now I'm inside the OpenAlgo folder. Now from here, I'm going to launch WSL first of all. Um, that's the problem. I don't know how to do that. Because this is Windows. We cannot launch Claude because Claude doesn't works here. Maybe I'll try this. Let's say I want to use this. I want to run this folder in. So I'll say like I am in VS Code terminal. I want to open this project. I want to open this project in WSL. It's asking me to go to this particular stuff. I'm into that. And from there, access the Windows project directory from there. Okay, I'll do that. But before that, I'll ensure that I'm just going into sudo -i. I'm just switching to root. Okay, then we'll just copy this. Hope that works. Yeah, that works. And I'm going to launch code.i. Maybe it's asking me to install code. Not sure whether I have to install or not. Snap install code. No, I don't think that is the right way. Maybe I don't know. Okay, let's try Claude from here. Maybe that could be a better idea. Yeah, it's able to see the Claude, and let's see, like, I'll say like yes, I trust it. Maybe we'll ask Claude to do something like maybe I'm going to try changing an good front end. I'm going to do some lightweight task only. I'm not going to do anything major. Can you understand this Flask project and help me design a beautiful front end? Maybe I should have said what front end is. It's gonna take it roguely. Okay, in the meantime, we'll see like what the other one had done. So it still keep going on. That's pretty interesting. It's still trying to build something. It keeps on going on. No complaints, but still here also Claude, it's good, but the amount of token it would have been used would have been like quite heavy. Anyways, so it's able to read the OpenAlgo code. So it's analyzing the Flask project structure and understand its purpose, review existing front-end templates and static files, design and propose a modern, beautiful front-end approach, examine current CSS framework and styling approach, identify key pages that need front-end improvements. So basically, I don't want all the changes to be done. So I just want to do only with index.html. Maybe I should have said that I want to do only with index.html. Let's see what it's going to do. I'm pretty curious to know about it. What changes it's going to design and propose a modern, beautiful front end approach. About that other one, still it's keep building. It's keep going on. That's but in between, I had to go and say like continue. I had to give like approval and all those things. If I give already approval, then it's not going to ask any questions. Just keep on going in a single row. It keeps on building things. That's what I find it very fascinating. Maybe max another half an hour, and then we call it a day. But what I'm very much surprised is like the token consumption is pretty much lesser. And in fact, Claude Code also they had implemented some caching mechanism, so that will be reducing their token size drastically. So it's asking me, would you like to implement the design improvements in your projects? I can start updating the CSS files and key templates to create a more modern, beautiful interface while maintaining the existing functionality. Once like yes, go ahead. Maybe it's going to ask one or two permission, but after that it'll be on its own. It's not going to ask any questions, nothing. So it's going to be straight. It's keep going to build the context. It's going to build. I'm curious to see what is there in the store. If it is changing the file, I should be able to visualize in my Explorer here. I'm going to give the permission. I'm going to give full permission to that. I'm going to say like, don't ask again. As you can see that it's changing the file. Here, one of the file style.css that changed, literally that changed. I can see the diff means it is editing the file. Okay, how about the other one? This guy keeps still done with that. Still, it's going on. That's very surprising. Anyway, in the meantime, we'll go and install the virtual environment, Python, -venv. Then let's try to activate the virtual environment. So this is with, we are testing event scheduler. We are trying to test how it's going to work, whether one shot is going to try to do or not. The only thing is like it doesn't do any testing and all those things. No testing, no validation, just only implementation. That's what Windsurf is all about. But Claude, it tests, it gives you confirmation that yes, the application works flawlessly, right? Uh, Still, we don't know what are the flaws that it's going to have, but let me install the pip install -r requirement.txt. It says like that done with the application. Let's see. So we'll get into the event scheduler. And then I'll go and run pip install -r requirement.txt. Let's see what is going to be the outcome. I'm curious to see what is the outcome. It also coded for longer hours. Of course, it got stuck at multiple places. That is a little bit annoying compared to what Claude Code is doing. It's pretty smooth. So I'm going to run python app.py. Yeah, the first error, right? Again, I have to go and copy and paste this error, send it back. Again, it's going to consume a lot of tokens. So it is having some coding error. So it is fixing the coding error, right? But no such thing in when it comes to Claude Code, because it helps testing it on its own, and then it provides a solution. If there is any error from the testing, it is able to get to know that it fixes those errors automatically. So you don't need to go and sit and debug most of your time. You know, will not be wasting there, sitting testing and wasting your time. That is pretty scary also, because that is why developers are being hired, and it's restructuring the code. Of course, it's going to come up with some better content. At some point in time, the application is going to work, but I have to do like multiple iterations. Whereas here in Claude Code, the one which is running inside my VS Code, all I have to do is like I just have to give like only permissions, right? So nothing else. I'm just sitting, I'm just giving prompt and give permission. The permissions will be stored. So next time it's not going to ask you permission. So first time it's going to ask you permission. Second time it's not going to ask you any permission at all. So I'm just giving all the permissions to it. If you don't want, you can control. You can just manually say yes. Every time you have to say yes. But I'm just giving a permission here, full permission. So it's installing the packages, NPM packages and everything. But anyways, I'm not going to deploy this. I'm just telling you that I'm just curious to know about what kind of output that I'm going to get. Okay, it's just compiled the CSS for Daisy UI. It understands that it can go through the complete code base also. That's another capability of this when it comes to large projects. It can create massive amount of code in no time. That is one big plus. The second good thing is like it can read large code of your projects, which is not possible with Windsurf. We have to do some tweaks. You have to tell which file exactly it should read. Otherwise, here it knows what to read and what not to read. So for 4 files it had edited, and I can see those all these edits over here itself, which I'm fine. Like, which is almost like it's like my own mini Windsurf. So I'm not bothered about. All I have to do is like I have to tell the job, get the work done, and see the work, whatever the work which is happening here. I can visualize it in the uh, my VS Code. That is more than enough. You don't even need Windsurf at all. If you are fearing giving the command line controls, you can just say yes. And you can see that it says like ultra streaming. That means it's generating a large amount of code. Look at the token consumption. I'm pretty much looking into the token consumption only. So it's not going to show me any cost. Maybe if you are directly using API, your cost will be like a bigger one. It's not a good idea. If you're going to use Claude Code, better go with a max plan. Otherwise, don't. You will be burning your tokens in no time. Maybe it could be efficient, uh, but I think maybe API is only to test. So if you're a serious coder, you better go with Claude Max. If you want to test it out, maybe pay $10, try it out. Maybe if I don't know how much the token consumption is going to be because I haven't tried the API directly with the Claude Code. But I'm sure like you will be run away with like $10 will be spent in like within like 5 hours or 2 hours of coding. You might be burning all your $10. But it's not consuming millions of tokens. If it is Klein or something, we are using direct API, it would have used millions of tokens. 1 hour if you code, your 1 million token will be spent very easily in no time. But here I'm seeing like token efficiency is very good. All right, let's see what is there in the store. We also parallelly check Windsurf as well because they're also a building app to try to understand. Let's try to understand run the application here. Still error, so I have to sort it out. I think now you're getting the difference. Like, what is the difference between Claude Code and why I'm saying like Claude Code is comparatively better. It's a beast compared to Windsurf. Windsurf is like chota bacha, whereas Claude Code is like kind of a monster. Eventually, it's going to figure out. It's going to figure out what is the issue. It's going to fix those issues and all those things. But you have to repeatedly keep throwing those errors to it, or at some point in time, it's going to show some repeated error. You have to step in and you have to figure out what is the issue, or you have to ask it to write some logs, let it figure out the logs. So this is with Windsurf, right? See, this is keep going smooth, no issues, no errors. Only thing what you have done is like only permissions is what we have done. And in fact, it is doing the existing code and code base is trying to change. Completely it is modifying the code base. It's giving a new front end. Anyways, I'm not going to commit this, but I just want to see how the front end looks like. So it's almost it's going to change the order book and it's going to create enhanced loading states and animations. I don't know what kind of animation it is. Add interactive JavaScript enhancements, update based on HTML for better structure. That's what it is trying to do here. Who knows? Maybe I might change my mind in the last minute also. But at this point in time, I'm not going to change anything. So I like this current OpenAlgo UI, but I'm a little curious to see like what Claude Opus can do to the entire code base. Well, let's switch back to Windsurf. Let's see what we got here. Let's again go and run. Yeah, we finally got running, and let's see. Event scheduler, more or less looking pretty similar compared to what we had built earlier. Let me register. Yes, it worked. It works, right? Let's create an event. I think exactly the same thing is what that also created. Date. So we have this calendar picker. Time. Maybe I'll put some random time. It's more or less similar. So it's also tracks some attendees as well. Cool UI. It works. Right? So even if I'm going to log out, it's also have some switcher as well. Log out. That is the event. Event is missing. So we have an upcoming. Oh, it's coming over here. What? I have to log in to see the event. It should be a public event, right? So maybe there are some small issues are there. Whereas there it was working flawlessly, but here I have to log in to view, right? It's not kept in a public mode because it's supposed to kept in a public mode because it's an event, right? It has to be published publicly so that people can come and do give an RSVP and they can join it. But somehow it had done the job, but not the way Claude Code had done. So yes, so that is with Windsurf, right? Let's look at the other one here. So we have this. This is created by our Claude Code. It's a public event. So anybody who is going to create an event, it's going to list under the event section. Yeah, let me close that. So this is, I'm going to close Windsurf for time being. If you want, you can also use Windsurf also along with your I would prefer to use Windsurf along with Claude. The reason is Claude Code can do the code, and I can use Windsurf to do some minor tweaks or something like that, or maybe some auditing I want to do. I want to check whether the code has been done by Claude Code is really good or not. Is anything is missing? So I can take assistance from Google Gemini. So in that case, I prefer to still use Windsurf and Claude Code, right? Claude Code does the heavy lifting, and Windsurf will be doing the code reviews and other stuff. So 576 seconds, which means approximately 10 minutes in a straight. 10 minutes straight, just keep building this. In the meantime, I also open a new shell, and then I'm gonna run cd space OpenAlgo. I'll try to get an API key. So cp dot sample dot env. I'm gonna go and get the env file. The env file configuration, I'm gonna change this to, for timing, I'm gonna use Angel. And API key, I'm gonna get an API key here. Let me get an API key. I'll go to the broker portal, I'm gonna get an API key. API secret, Angel doesn't use as API secret, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. Then I'm gonna run uv run app.py. I also ensure that I'm gonna do what? I'll also ensure that I enable the debug mode as well. Ooh, right, so that any development activity which is happening, we can able to visualize it. App.py. So of late, I've been using UV. UV has been pretty faster. Like it's able to compile the packages in like no time. Like installation has been done. Like uh, if it is pip, I have to wait for like at least some 2 minutes. I have to wait for all the 100 plus packages to install. But here, the application has been started. Right, it created a virtual environment and then it created the application and then it started the application. So let's go and try this out. Some are not liking the front end yet. So this is front end it's creating. Let's see. It's still not done yet, but let it complete. Do I like this front end? If you ask me, I'm not happy about it. Definitely no. A big no. Maybe I could have given some references. So completely it had done with that. So that's the thing that it had delivered. Let's click on it says like start trading download now. It says like 25 plus broker. I don't know when I had changed to 25 brokers. I never mentioned like 25 plus brokers. Maybe it would have read from the README file and then it knows that I'm using 25 plus Indian brokers. It's not 25. I think we are using something like 20 plus. Let's say start trading and first time it's going to go to the setup page. It haven't done anything with the setup page yet. Let's see. Go and test this out. Little bit of hiccup, but still you can work with Windows, right? So you have to use via WSL only. There are no other choice. Yeah, I think these pages it haven't changed much, but maybe very few pages only that changed. I think so. Changed probably order book, trade book, position book, and dashboard. Not everything it had changed. Yes, let's see. This is what I got. Definitely, I'm not liking it. There's also some place instant order, quick buy sell order. What I'm gonna buy and nothing. So search symbol. Okay, it goes to that page. The top menu is looking good. It's adding some cool icons. That is fine. Markets open. Of course, markets are not open. I'm not happy with that. Order book. Order book. It's like totally scrambled. But this stuff is looking good, but I'm not happy with this one. And the orders, trade book. Of course, there's no trade book. This is like starting strategy. I think it had changed the complete structure. It had changed a little bit. API key, not much of an improvement. Profile page also there's been a little bit of changes. But only the skin it had changed. Oh, some animation it had added over here. That's pretty good. Some animation it added. That is also looking good if it is true. But I think it has using some mock data to mimic it. So means you cannot do massive changes unless it's okay to focus on particular task. You can focus and then you can work it out. That's what I'm just thinking. You should not do like you should not give control to like you just change everything whatever you want. You just go and change it. Don't leave it like that. I mean, I'm just doing it only for experimental purpose. But otherwise, I will not give open. I'll go to something like Claude to do that. So CSP and CSRF is like something which is niche thing. We know what exactly we're gonna work out. So that way, when you know what you are gonna do, use Claude. Otherwise, start with Windsurf only. Windsurf is for beginners. Maybe Claude Code is like you need to know how to control the beast. That's what I had learned in the first attempt. It's a beast. You need to know how to control the beast, right? Once you know how to control the beast, features will happen in no time. So once he's saying you may have to accept all to update the files that it generated. Okay. All right. So yeah, so some cool features it added, but still not enough. I would say like comparatively better. Clean UI it had done, but I'm not happy with it. I'm happy with what I'm already having it right now. So I think probably we can break here. So probably we'll catch up tomorrow. So tomorrow we are doing an open algo session. Probably the core thing that I'm planning to discuss is like um, WebSocket implementation, what we had done and what we are planning to do. And probably tomorrow we'll be demonstrating about the Excel based automation. Like some of the people had asked, can you do some video on Excel based automation? And what are the new things that I'm trying to work on top of OpenAlgo? What is the methodologies or what are the tools that I'm using? So I'll be demonstrating those some of the tools. Mostly, primarily, I'll be focusing on Excel-based automation. So if you're having an Excel, so from how we can get the data inside Excel, or how we can place orders from Excel, how to send bulk orders. So that is the thing I'm planning to talk, and of course about the WebSockets as well, mostly. So Vamsi is saying like Claude Code is pretty good. A beast, of course. Yes, thanks for the session. All right, thank you, Vamsi. So see you. Bye bye. And thank you, retail trader, aka Aishwarya. Bye bye.